Hello and welcome to this Spark tutorial of how to download or transfer a dataset with AWS S3. In this video tutorial, we will learn how to download or transfer Spark datasets over 5 GB in size with AWS. First, we will learn how to get an AWS account, install the command line interface for AWS, and entering the commands to acquire a copy of the Spark dataset. In this video segment, we will look at what is the command line interface, how to download and install the AWS CLI for your computer, and how to configure the AWS CLI to use with your AWS account. To get a dataset from a Spark S3 bucket, you have the option to either transfer the data to your own S3 bucket that you have set up in the previous video segment, or download the dataset directly to your computer. You cannot download from a Spark S3 bucket directly from the AWS website. Rather, you issue a command from your computer's command line interface. Most all modern computer operating systems have a command line to control the operations of your computer, whether you've seen it or not. Perhaps the most well-known command lines are the Windows command prompt and Unix terminal. You can get to the command line of your computer by using programs like command.exe on Windows and the terminal on Unix-based computers like macOS and Linux. On a macOS computer, you will find the terminal app program within the Utilities folder of your Applications folder. On a Windows computer, you will find the command prompt by viewing All Apps in the Start menu. In this step, we will download and install the AWS CLI tool for your computer. Out of the box, your computer does not have the ability to communicate with the AWS servers. Amazon makes the AWS command line interface tool available for you to install on your computer and the commands required to do so. To download the AWS CLI, visit aws.amazon.com/CLI. Download the AWS CLI tool that matches your computer. At the time of this recording, there are versions for Windows, macOS, and Linux. Follow the prompts of the installer. Administrator access may be required. Once the tool is installed, we will now configure the AWS CLI to use with your AWS account. In this example, we will be showing the macOS terminal, but the instructions are the same for Windows and Linux. To download or transfer with the AWS CLI, you need to tell it which account to use by configuring the tool. Type the following into your computer's command line interface: AWS configure. From your downloaded CSV file for the creation of the IAM user account, enter in the user's access ID. Enter your AWS secret access key. Enter the region you chose for the creation of your AWS S3 bucket. Enter JSON for the download format. By default, the AWS CLI transfers downloads with a modest speed. You can increase the number of concurrent connections for you to download your files with the following command: AWS configure set default.s3.max _concurrent_request 200. You can change the amount of simultaneous connections to anything between 1 and 200. The default value is 10. The lower the value, the longer the transfer to your computer will take. Remember that regardless of the speed, you only pay for the amount of data transferred. At the end of the next segment, we will talk about how you can download just part of a dataset rather than the whole thing. For documentation, go to docs.aws.amazon.com/CLI.